All right, guys, welcome back to another masterpiece Transformers review here, and this time continuing the DX9 Stunticons line. We do have Montana. Now, this is actually the last one that I finally purchased, and I got this one from Shozy store, and this is, of course, Montana, which is definitely going to be Tony Montana with the quote, "Say hello to my little friend," and he's even got his gun there. So the very, very specific poses here. I do like this because it is actually very much like a G1 cartoon image, which may have been what the one on the previous one was alluding to. Sorry, hair stuck to things. Montana, who do I trust? Me. So that's pretty cool. Gotta love that. And then you've got the tiger and everything else like that. So I'm assuming that's also a very specific reference to the actual character name reference. Come to the back. Definitely looking pretty good. So even though this is the newest figure I bought, which I believe is a reissue, which means it could be old stock for all we know. Image shown here is indicative only. DX9 2018. So this is also a 2018 figure. Love the schematic shot there. Bot mode, all the vehicle modes. Looks pretty cool. Doesn't have one from the back though. Just top, side, front. Not bad. Not bad at all. Like the orange detailing there. Freeman, once again. Age 15 plus. Hey, right in the middle of that. Made in China. Pretty cool. So we're getting through this pretty quickly now. And here we have the instruction booklet along with this. This one is a bit wonky. I'm pretty sure I did open this, and when I folded it up, I put it back in. Weird. I think I did. Because if I recall correctly, I opened it up to at least see how to do the arms, because it was weird. Something I don't mention often enough, I don't think, is that I do out-the-box reactions to Transformers figures where I try to blindly transform it. Like, I have no idea what I'm getting at, especially all of these. I also forgot to mention, all of these come in vehicle mode, which is awesome, which I think is to help people, generally speaking, go straight to combine mode. So realistically, when you eventually get to Motormaster, you really only have to transform the trailer and part of his body, and you're going straight into Menasor mode from right out of the box. So this one, probably going to be my least favorite of this. We'll see. Maybe this go around will be okay. But either way, let's go ahead and get to it. And here we have Montana in his awesome Lamborghini Countach mode. And this is the one that I got the most recently. I only got it just a few weeks ago, which allowed me to go ahead and get set up for this. And of course, because he is painted with a pearlescent white, most of the stuff is kind of washing out here on camera. If I have the light directly on it, so I might have to turn off that light. There we go. And he's painted like a bunch of the Hot Wheels cars that I had as a kid, where he's got some bright blue over white, and then just a huge red section up here, which, of course, does have a sticker there, which, not repro labels. This time, that one actually came from Shozy, which is where I bought this one from as well. I'm going to have to remember, as I do these things, which ones I bought where, because I think I got some on Shozy. I might have got one from TF Source, things like that. So either way, I want to make sure I credit it properly. But you can buy the entire set of these guys and all in one go. I forgot to mention that earlier. If I have mentioned it in other reviews, that's just how YouTube time travel works. You can buy the entire set of the DX9 Stunticons all at once from Shozy right now. So why not? So once again, we do have the blue paint painted over the white, which does come through kind of ugly sometimes. It is what it is, but it is all the Countach-y goodness here. You do have some like gunmetal kind of black there. Same thing here on the vents. Tail lights look pretty good. Bits, those scratches, what are those? I don't know what that is. Just like tab or whatever. But anyway, didn't paint the exhaust pipes, which is kind of sad, in my opinion. It does have the classic Lamborghini wheels, and it would have been cool if they painted the inside of the circles there black, so it looked like they went all the way through. That probably would have been good. Once again, rubber wheels, though. That's always good. Very nice for rolling purposes. And the spoiler, if you're so keen, you can just yoink that right off, but don't. In fact, does have a little bit of a stress mark there for where the tab comes through. I have a feeling at some point they had one where the whole spoiler was one piece and it tabbed into the base, and I bet that didn't go very well. But one thing that does go well is the doors. It does have the classic Lamborghini butterfly doors. Once again, as for the rest of these, there's no purpose to that. It serves no purpose. There's nothing you can't do. I mean, they even molded the interior of the door. They got the window crank. They got a little door pocket, stuff like that. All of that completely unnecessary. Even do have little wing mirrors there. Wish they put a little silver paint or something. And he does have flip-up headlights. However, his are the loosest in existence. So don't bother trying to get, well, at least this one, to stay up. And part of me feels like this is a joke, like a built-in joke about the old school Lamborghini headlights just not wanting to ever flip up properly and stay up. So there's that one. And this one will stay up, but it's a little more weepy. It's just like, burr, burr. Also, the whole front end here is painted blue on top of the white, which is kind of annoying. And then I think technically those are supposed to be like fog lights or something. They could have added a little bit more paint to this. Wouldn't have hurt it too much. And then you got the big silver lights there. I think I showed off on underneath. Nice molded car details under here. Totally unnecessary, but cool that they added it. And a Decepticon logo there. It's actually the wrong kind of Decepticon logo, but it's the only one I had offhand. So I stuck it there, and I'm probably going to change it out one day. So either way, let's go ahead and show him off next to his other friends with Wild Rider and Dead End. So, by the way, I only called him by his DX9 name. Of course, this is Breakdown. So there's that, and they all look good together as a roly-poly team. And I forgot to mention, he does come with his all blue gun. The handle does flip down. Does have some very nice metal bits there for, that's just a pin there. And then this one doesn't really serve a purpose. It's just there for deco, I guess. Because I haven't found any reason for that to be there. Nice molded detail. And I only just got it to fit in the roof line here. But because that's, I think, translucent, I'm terrified to actually not get it in there. So there it goes. That's only the second time I've managed that. So, once again, cool playability there. If you're a 90s kid and you always love being able to plug a big old gun into the roof of your car for some reason. Now, one big criticism, however you want to say it, of this is that pearl paint, plain white plastic. Plain white plastic. Plain white plastic or plain white paint. For some reason, they didn't exactly finish painting this guy. And I don't think that's normal. I do think that is an accident. Because you can see from underneath, at least, he's got a few bits of white molded plastic. And these bits stay that way. And I don't know why. So, either way, we'll get on to the transformation portion of this video here in just a second. So, guys, I did want to include one extra thing here. I forgot when going through the first bit on accessories. This guy does come with this little black dealy-hoo. And this is for literally one scene and one scene only. And realistically, you need to be displaying this in vehicle mode, and you need an MP Megatron. Basically, you come back here and you kind of start the transformation in a way. I'm trying to remember. I gotta do this partially. Here, hold on, let me disconnect some stuff here. Because there's a weird thing that keeps it from transforming for some reason, but it doesn't always. So I'll cut out this bit here. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so tab this all back together. Okay, so the whole point of this, after you get this guy open, which I guess if you pull back on it enough, you can get it. There's just a scene in the show where this is like a mind control thing, so Megatron can control the Stunticons. Basically, like, he opens up the back here and sort of sets this in place somewhere back here, and then just, I guess, closes it back. You can't use it, like it's not a part of anything. Clearly there's no room for it to function back there. But it's a thing that it comes with. So it's like literally, hey, let me put this mind control thingy in your butt and then close it up. It's a stupid gimmick. And there's no storage for it, so it's just a thing. And that's something that this set is really good about, giving you things that might be for that one time the one thing did the dooley-hoo, or from that one thing from that one episode, or that one weapon that we saw that one time. So that's it. Now we'll do transformation. Alright guys, so let's try to do the transformation here for our good friend Breakdown. And I say try because he's got a funky transformation and sometimes fights me. He is the newest one, so it's the one that is probably the freshest in my mind, or at least it should be. Although technically speaking, the other boys standing off to the side here are freshest because I just transformed them. So either way, we want to come down here, go ahead and pop those loose. And then we're going to come around to the back and lift up here. Rip that off. That's not part of this process, but you know, you can do it if you choose. Try not to choose. It's a problem. Once it comes off, it stays off. And this is part of the thing that there's a piece happening here that I'm not entirely certain about. So the thing is that this whole back section of the Lamborghini all the way up through here should just flip up. But for some reason, when it's like right here, as you can see, it's probably stressing there, how much I had to pull to kind of get it past that point so that we can flip this up. And now we have a little bit more room to work the legs. So we want to come up here and pull out on the sides. He has one of the more interesting leg transformations. So you can see here we've got all of this happening. And one thing is his legs will extend, although I'm probably going to need my spudger. So he's one of the only ones that compacts this way. Actually, he's the only one who compacts this way, and one of the few that compacts at all leg-wise. So do that, extend the hips down, but I'm doing that just to free up the legs to move a bit more out of the way so I can... Ugh, geez, that was stuck. Alright, so we can rotate that 90 degrees, but in fact we want to rotate all of that 180 degrees at the knee. And now we've got this whole car section here, which we also want to rotate 180 degrees. We have our toeses happening right here. There's a hair. So you don't have to get the door out of the way, but it kind of helps if I'm honest. And then you can unplug this. I don't know exactly what is holding that in place, but something is. Okay, so let's flip this down. Maybe that'll... No, there's a tab there holding that together. Okay, and we want to make a mess out of all this. So turn all of this way. Rotate this up, and then this little piece back, and then this will sort of come up front like that. It's a mess, but I'll figure it out. And then let's see here. We've got the front of the door here, which is going to fill up the legs. Go ahead and line that up. Get this lined up here, like so. And I think, okay, that's where we want the foot to be. My bad. All right, so this part here is going to tab in right there. You want this little inside tab here on the door to tab into the side of that. And that is kind of all that holds the leg together, if I'm totally honest. So shut this, and there we go. There's a leg. Don't rotate there. Keep it. There we go, like that. So let's see all of that from another angle. Rotate this 180 degrees. rotate the whole leg 180 degrees, flip this 180 degrees. You're kind of catching my drift here. And then bring this guy out. Go ahead and swivel this. One thing I forgot to mention, that folds down that way. So you want to do that number, bring it around here, bring this up, flip up the toe, flip out the heel, and then sort of do your best to get that where you want it, like so. And then, what just happened? There we go. Okay. So you got to look at it like, what is actually going on here? And then, once again, that tab will go into that slot to form up the leg. And this is terrifying, if I'm honest. Oop, there we go. And then now we've got that goes into there. And this just sort of rests in this gap. It doesn't secure in any way. And I think, I could be wrong, one of these doesn't really secure worth a damn. I don't remember which leg it is. But you can also see they're not exactly equal. One of them is off by a bit. But I guess we'll just have to live with it for now. But there we go, there's the legs. Alright, actually I'm going to brighten this up just a little. Nope, that's the wrong direction. I mean, like, the hardest part is that it's a white figure, so that always makes it difficult. We're going to go ahead and flip those in for right now. We're going to rotate this 180 degrees. And the back of the car here will fold flat and slide in like that. But now we have the front of the car to have to deal with. And I think we're going to just do what we've done before and just kind of pry up the hood a little bit. I think this is one of the only ones that the hood doesn't extend like underneath the window. Oh, actually, yeah, that's right. He just splits in half. Make it nice and easy. So open up the arms like so. And then we can do some hood action here. So there's a tab right there that is sort of holding all this in place. And sometimes it lets go very nice. All right, and then we have this part here, which is kind of tabbing all that together. Just kind of rotate that out of the way. Oh, I always forget this part. All right. Once again, this is the newest one. So flip that up, snap that back into place, flip this down, and what we're going to do is rotate this guy. Well, nope, not yet. I'm going to rotate this guy first. And then flip out the hand. This should seem familiar to most of you. And then we close this up. This tab on the inside of the hood right there, just right there, will go into that little bit of the bumper. But make sure that you close the hood part first and then tab it in. And then that's when we can rotate the arm to sort of make sense of things. We're not done here. We're just stopping at the arm. Okay, and then we'll come over to this side, do the same thing. Pop that up. Pull this back. Pull this out. This one is always stuck. And then there, okay. And like so. And then rotate this way. Flip out the hand. Rotate it 180. Rotate this 180. Close this down. Oops, everybody got out of alignment. And then tab that. Nope, that didn't go. So here's the key. This little blue piece needs to be inside the forearm right there before you tab that in. And that's your kind of lock-in point. Okay, I know this is supposed... There it goes. Finally. Jeez. All right, so that... It looks a little bit funny, right? Because it is. One, it's backwards. Because that is supposed to be like so. So I rotated and I guess I wasn't supposed to at that point. All right, next up, we need to go ahead and pull the head out. Flip it up. Rotate 180, and then we need to slide this whole torso bit up. And that's not the easiest thing. There. Until you hear the double snap there. Okay, so we want to bring the shoulders up. You've got the post here that will go into there. And then you've got tabs here and here that will hold those in place. Like so. And orient the arms properly. And then go ahead and close that up. And in theory, see, I should have cleaned that up a little bit nicer. I don't know why I didn't, but it is what it is, I guess. And then there we have our breakdown boy in his robot mode. And yeah, he's weird. He's really friggin' weird. These are definitely the most hollow legs out of any of them, because it is just a very basic shell, and you can see here this is not even like for lack of a better word. There we go. That's a little bit better. I'm not really keen on his transformation, and like the ankles are so friggin' weird. Like it's like, oh hey, so we're gonna put the ankle. I know I normally just go through the whole shebang of the articulation and whatnot, but in this case you have an offset ball joint here for the ankle, which allows for all of this movement, but it's so awkward. Like, it's just, everything about it is so weird. Like, even though you're not supposed to stand flat like that, he's trying to. Okay. Oh, all right. Slightly less frustration. We'll just move on. We'll just move on with our life and talk about the rest of the things about him that are not good, because that's kind of how this one comes. All right, let's zoom in on that head sculpt here. And he also has a red face, much like our last friend, but his eyes are like silver or clear, or I'm not entirely certain what color we're working there. Then blue painted head. It is on a hinge, I believe. Yeah, no side to side. So that's good. It will swivel. Shoulders come up. We'll go around. You can get to outside, of course, like that as well. Nice, 90 degrees. You got bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, mostly for transformation, but it works. You do have the Lamborghini wheel on the shoulder. You also have the headlights that won't stay in place half the time. But I will point out the biggest and most obvious flaw of the design. He's the only one who does not lock the wrist in place in any way, shape, or form. Literally nothing. You have this piece that flips over, pops out into place, and nothing at all holds it in place. You would have thought that maybe this, with all the tabs that are inborn in it, would somehow close up on the fist, but no, they don't do it. It's fine. You do have silver paint here, blue paint here, very dusty for whatever reason. The wrong type of Decepticon logo there, because I was out of my cartoon stickers from Repro Labels. So that's actually one that came from Show Z, which is where I got this guy. He just came into stock. Once again, you can buy all of these guys right now at Show Z. Either well, the individual ones are not quite out, but all 5 components are available as one set. And by the way, you do get an ab crunch, but for some reason it sticks. He's the only one who can't just bend over completely for whatever reason, and I'm scared to push it. You do have a nice pearlescent front skirt here, and you can kick all the way forward. And then there's a weird greenish something or other happening right there. I don't know. You get ratcheted hips that will come all the way out and up, go beyond a normal Jean-Claude. But also, you can see daylight. You can see daylight in his entire crotchal area there. I don't know why they decided to do that, but they did. Okay, so you got some thigh rotation there. You have knee rotation because, yeah. And you have single jointed knee down to 90 degrees like you do, and we've already talked about the feet. So, it's crazy. He's slightly less skinny. Ever so slightly less skinny than the rest of his cohorts. brothers was the word I wanted to use. And the thing about it is, like, are they technically family? Because I don't think so. Also, he's the only one that doesn't have a tab. As far as I can see, doesn't have a tab in the gun. I could be wrong. There might be another one. We'll see. But he has no tab. There's no tab in the palm either to grip it. So this one is going to be 100% relying on the fingers to sort of hold them in place. And I mean, well, the biggest problem is, of course, the fingers aren't the best thing in the world, and the wrist is completely non-existent, like you do. But there we go. All right, so we're gonna zoom out, and we'll do comparisons to the other guys. And we've got Wild Rider and Dead End so far. And if you didn't do the hip extension, he would be shorter, like by about half an inch or so. You know, be shorter by literally that much. I mean, you can do it. It also will limit his hip movement because you won't be able to come out at all because it'll be hitting right here. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. You know, however it is you feel you want to play with your toy, you can. My biggest issues are definitely the lack of conviction in the wrist, and then just the complete and utter hollowness of the legs. I feel like that was a really big misstep in design. He does feel like he wasn't, as far as I know, he wasn't even the last one designed. But then, as it comes down to like the paint, you know, he's got the pearlescent white and blue mix, which reminds me of certain Hot Wheels I had growing up, that the paint just looked bad. There's a lot of blue bleed through, or even overspray where the metallic blue is over the white. And not to mention, you know, it just looks weird because of the mismatched white, like between here and here, totally different whites. Same thing through here around the crotch. This is all different. The knees are a different white to, you know, painted, not painted, not painted, painted. It's super inconsistent. Not to mention the blue between the painted blue and the plastic blue is also pretty inconsistent. And this ankle is ridiculous. It's like, just come on, buddy. So he's definitely the weakest. He's not the weirdest by all means. So the weirdest is yet to come, but he's by far the weakest. And actually, in this angle, it looks like he's crying tears. So I guess that's good. You cry about how bad they designed you. That's worth it, I guess. Here, so let's just scooch these boys back a little. There we go. Why is there no light getting to his legs? I'm very confused. Wherever they are, and it's just whatever. So, like I said, definitely not the best one. But of course, the Lamborghini mode is always fun because, well, Lamborghinis is what it is. And for the cost to be roughly the same, it is what it is. But also for the fact that you can just buy them all together instead of buying them individually and hunting them down in different places like I had to. But also, guys, make sure you go and check out the Taro video where we look at how to get Breakdown and all these guys back into vehicle mode. And of course, the combined mode video will be after Motormaster. So make sure you stick around for all of that. And if you haven't already checked out the playlist, by all means. And if you're kind of interested, there's a whole DX9 sort of playlist of the DX9 Legend scale stuff, along with the New Age scale, or New Age Legend scale stuff as well, because at least at one point, it definitely seemed like DX9 and New Age were in the same team, but now it seems a little bit different. And DX9 seems to be coming out with some new legendary stuff, or Legend scale stuff that seems to be a bit more Magic Square-ish. Interesting. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. And remember, as always, keep on nerding.